Hey guys, welcome back to Ramp 1. Today we're gonna talk about our first impressions of the new set, the EB02, or the upcoming set. Let's get right into it with the first red card.
So, as first card we have Karu. Karu is basically basic vanilla, 5/7, wonky counter. That's about it. Support for Vivi, I guess, maybe PRB Sanji, and yeah. So, next up, we have Sabo here.
This guy is pretty much just Belabetti support, 4 on 5k, 2k counter, activate main, you may rest this character up to one of your non-Sabo Revolutionary Army characters, gains plus 2000 during this turn. So it enables the Ivankov. You'll see it's probably just a 2k for the most part, but has some nice interactions with the Betty deck.
Oh, fine. Pretty good actually for Betty. Then we go right next. Here's Tony Chopper. And Tony Chopper says, with 2 done, this character has an opponent's turn plus 2000 power. And on play, if your leader has a Straw Hat type, give up to one of your leader or one of your characters 1 rested Dawn. Seems to be a nice addition for Zorro, for the animal engine, as you can give the 1 rested Dawn to your leader, to Zorro, or to Hiking Bear, for example. So yeah, just another little addition to the animal engine, and yeah, that's about it, I guess. So let's switch Chopper here with Donachino.
Donachino is an 8 on 10k vanilla 1k counter with the Archino family type. We're not sure if there is another Archino family card. I think it's the only one, at least the only one I know of. Probably not gonna see it.
Yeah, just there for the artwork. So, then we have the Imposter Straw Hat crew. Basically, this character gains 2000 power in your turn, but minus 2000 power in the opponent's turn. It's similar to like the 3-cost Sanji, but just a worse way, as probably there for 1 turn, then to swing and then it dies. It might be good if you can go super wide or have some way to protect it. Otherwise, I don't see it, because also the type is Imposter Straw Hat crew, so not sure if it's searchable when army then actually. But yeah.
I think there's also already a better 2 don 5k swing in the Zorro deck specifically, or the new ST21. I think this card is just not gonna see any play.
Okay. Then we have the first super rare in the set, actually quite nice card. This is Yamato.
Yeah, this is a 6 don 7k non-counter card. So for most aggressive decks it's probably not gonna be too interesting, but for the Red-Green Odin, for example, it's activate main once per turn if your leader has the Len of Wano type or is Portgas Ace. Give up to one of your rested Dawn cards to your leader, and this character gains Rush during this turn. So not being on play and still having Rush is pretty nice. As I said, without the counter, it's probably gonna be too expensive for most aggressive decks.
Yeah, except for Odin, for example, where it is a counter just because of the lead ability. And so yeah, it's probably one of the best supports for the Red-Green Odin deck. Yeah. Then let's go to the Carving Hoof Cherry Blossom Blizzard. Basically it says, main, give up to 3 of your leader or character, gains plus 1000 power this turn, then KO up to one of your opponent characters with 3000 power less. The trigger says you KO one of your opponent characters with a power of 4000 or less. Yeah, it's basically probably for the Zorro, for the Chopper deck, for the red-green. It's like an addition, like I would say it's still not as good as in Zorro, since Zorro just uses 1 Dawn to give your whole board plus 1000 power. It's probably a try to make Chopper viable. It's card enough, in my opinion, won't be enough to do that. So let's see if it works with a few combo pieces in the future, but I don't see this having much play either, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The Chopper deck is just too predictable. It's not a great aggro deck. Zorro is pretty much always the better option, doing basically the same thing, not being locked into any tribe, and being able to use your Dawn after committing attacks. So I don't see this card working out, or the Chopper deck working out.
Okay. Then we have a new Searcher.
So we actually have these in every color. They all work the same exact way. It's 2 Dawn, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, add one card with the cost of 4 or more from those 4 cards to your hand, place the rest at the bottom, and the trigger is just activate this card's main effect.
So yeah, design-wise, as you can see, they orientated themselves a bit on the basic sketches on the cards. They still have the print alignment, the outlines, and everything there. Yeah, it's very special designs. Not everyone is a fan of it, but probably some of you will like it. And yeah, that's pretty much all about this card. You will see the other colors pretty soon as well. So, and then we have the last red card, which is 1000 Sunny. 1000 Sunny is activate main. You may rest this stage, give up to one of your leaders, give up to one of your attached Dawn cards to one of your story type characters. So basically it says like you can rest this card and then use a Dawn that was attached before on one character to put it on another character. Really rather new in my opinion, especially in combination with a stage. So for my part, I don't know where to put it at the moment, since it's a 2 Dawn stage as well. It might get some use, especially if you use multiple characters that require 1 Dawn for an ability. But so far we haven't seen that as much. So
for now it just seems too clunky. Maybe there is something sweet you can do with it if you need the Dawn to activate your abilities. Not being able to give it to your leader is a pretty big downside too, in my opinion. So I think it's gonna be too clunky, but we will see.
Alright, so that's it with red. And we move right into green with the only leader in this set.
So this is a green-purple leader. Most of you probably know it already. It's 5k 4 life leader. Activate main once per turn, Dawn -2. If you only have Straw Hat type character, restand 2 of your Dawns, and this becomes a 6k leader until the end of your opponent's next turn. Very good card, looking forward to playing with it.
Yeah, we've seen many gameplays in the Asian meta before the ban list. I'm pretty sure this deck, this leader is strong enough. Work it through in this meta currently without us having Dofi and Gecko, so even though we have another meta, I think this will be one of the top played decks during the EB02 meta. Pretty nice to see the combination of green and purple working on low Dawn, and very wide going deck, and yeah, I'm also looking forward to seeing its play. And just on a side note, we will also probably test this deck out before the upcoming release in the next coming days on Twitch, so you can check us out there as well. And yeah, next up we have Arlong.
Just really quickly before we get into Arlong, we do still have Dofi, it's just without Jimbe, so the deck is probably still strong enough to be played in the EB02 meta.
Sorry, I said without Dofi.
Yeah,
okay.
It's just a lot worse without Jimbe.
Okay, so now Arlong. Arlong says basically on play, if your leader has the Fishman or East Blue type, give up to one of your rested Dawn to your leader, or up to one of your, and not just to your leader, and then one of your opponent characters with 5 or less cannot be rested until the end of your opponent's next turn. So basically, you can play this this card, give 1 Dawn to, for example, a Jimbe leader which is coming, or like Arlong or Hodi. Or also East Blue, I think, so also like Kuro. And then you can freeze basically a character from using their ability, or like for like Kuza and like a Laboon. Yeah, nice addition to the East Blue cards. So if someone still has the urge to play Hodi or Arlong, this might be a good card for you. So then we go into Gaimon.
One of the best cards. Gaimon, if you have Zafungel, this character gains blocker, 1 Dawn, 1k counter, 1k power.
Perfect card.
Great card.
Okay, so Okay, well, now we go into Carrot. Carrot is just it's a 2k, but also searcher for the stage. It searches the top 7 for Zoo. And the requirement is to have 3 or more done. So once you have 3 or more done on your field, you can play her. The searches the top 7 for the stage card Zoo, and then you can play the Zoo from hand. Most of the time it will be just a 2k. If there, so it's another Minx 2k. If there will be like more Minx support, you might play the stage in the future. Then she might be viable. But yeah, I think she's a basic 2k as of now. Now,
Just being able to find one card is pretty rough.
yeah, it limits you pretty hard.
Now we have the counterpart to Gaimon,
Yes,
the Sarpunkel. 2 down 1k counter, play up to 1 Gaimon from your hand. So 2 card combo, you get a 1 down 1k block.
super strong, super insane, probably the most broken card in this, except besides the leader.
Go play this in Red Green Law, you're gonna top every event, I'm sure.
Okay, so after Sarfunkel we have actually a decent card here. Bonnie. It's a 7 cost, 7k Bonnie with 1k counter. It says on play up to one of your opponent characters won't be set active in the next refresh phase, and at end of your turn restand one of your Don. So basically it's clear green Bonnie leader support. It says a mini Dofi ability, you can freeze 1 character. And then at the end of the turn you can basically on curve restand your Don for your leader ability. And yeah, pretty good card, I think.
Yeah, very good green card. Very annoying if they curve the
Carrot,
the 5 cost carrot into this one. They basically keep your entire board frozen. Very strong support for the Bonnie deck.
Yeah, and having a counter as well is super nice. So next up we have the big Chopper Man.
This is a 5 down 6k 1k counter. Also treat this card as Chopper according to the rules. On play, play up to 1 animal type character with a cost of 3 or less from your hand. So this card is actually quite nice for the animal engine. Of course the red 5k Chopper immediately comes to mind. The cool card, we'll see if it actually helps out the Chopper deck a bit. Yeah.
That's it. Then next up, Nami Searcher. So basically now we have a green Searcher for Straw Hats. So it says look at the top 5 cards, put one Straw Hat card except Nami into your hand. Yeah, something that in my opinion was needed anyway. We have lots of green Straw Hat cards, but could only search them in combination with red, for example. Now we have a mono green Searcher to search for mono green decks if you want to go full Straw Hat in green decks, or combine it with other colors where the Searcher is missing. Yellow, for example, I was looking for. Like Yamato, there are many yellow Straw Hat cards you could search now with Nami.
Also nice in red-green, since you had the red Nami before, but you needed to play 2 different searchers. Now, if you really want to play the Straw Hat package, go more aggressive with the Zoro and Luffy. You could, as you have 2 Straw Hat searchers. Obviously, both are Nami and can search each other. Still nice to have the option.
Nice card. Now we get Buggy.
The 4 down 6k Buggy.
Both,
On play,
both, yeah.
On play, if you do not have another Buggy character, up to one of your leader gains double attack until end of turn. This is a pretty niche card, but most green decks don't really play Buggy, so maybe this can help out some decks that really need it. The green kit deck may use it by restanding the leader and getting multiple double attacks.
That's strong, yeah. What the trigger says, you rest one of your opponent characters with 4 or less, so it's pretty
common in green.
Yeah, pretty common there. Alright. So now look at that, we got Zoro here. Zoro is actually a quite good card if I see this correctly here. So it says if your opponent has 2 or more characters on the field, basically just 2 or more characters, this character can attack characters on the turn it's played. So it gets Semi-Rush, so you can swing right into rested characters if your opponent has 2 or more. And to combine this, you have their on-play ability. On-play ability is if your leader has the type Straw Hat Crew, rest up one of your opponent characters with cost 4 or less. So basically, you can play this card, and if both conditions are met, you can rest a 4 or less and swing right into it. It's a pretty strong card in my opinion. I think it will be used in the green-purple Luffy. It seems like it's made for it perfectly as a way to get rid of problematic cards like Kuzan or something like that.
Yeah, or just attacking some small blockers, playing this 4/4, resting a cheap blocker and killing it immediately without having to commit something else is very nice. Also, you don't just rest it and they can get the value of it just one turn later. So not just stalling it for a turn, but actually clearing it. Maybe if your opponent is trying to keep up Searcher or couldn't use it yet, just wanted to pre-play something, this can really punish them. So this is a card you should keep in mind.
Alright. So, here you go again with your event.
We have another one of these, it's the same as before. Look at the top 4, reveal one card with 4 or more, add it to your hand, put the rest at the bottom, trigger, activate main.
Same.
Same as before.
Then let's go to Gum Giant Pistol then. This card says basically give up to one of your Destroyed type characters 6000 power until the end of your turn. Then the character you gave the power won't be active again in the next refresh phase. And the trigger is here again, rest one of 4 or less, cost 4 or less characters. Yeah, I guess it sounds good to finish or to clear big body, but has the downside that the character stays rested, so I doubt this card will be seeing any play in the near future. Yeah, feels like a filler card to me, one of those events that says could be good, but won't be worth it in most of the times. And I think that was it for green, so we have blue now. And yeah, blue starts with an Usopp.
First Usopp, it's a board on 5k power, 2k counter. On play, if you have 2 or fewer characters with 5000 or more power in play, play up to one character with 6000 power or less without an ability. So maybe you played in Vivi, it's just cheating out the vanilla. The 2k for the most part is blue and Straw Hat type. Might see some play, mostly a 2k in my opinion.
Alright. Then we have Crocodile. The Crocodile basically says, your turn, once per turn, when an opponent character is returned to its owner's hand by your effect, look at the top 3 of your deck and place them in the top or bottom in any order. Basically, you can stack your top 3 to the top or bottom of your deck when a character is bounced. When it's an opponent character is bounced, you do have to bounce something on the opponent's board, not your own cards.
Yeah, I like the card. I don't know if it's very strong, but it's very cool for sure. Of course, Boa immediately comes to mind.
Yeah.
It's a warlord, so searchable with Sengoku. And you also get to, like, since both abilities are activated by the same condition of your opponent's character being bounced, you should be able to stack your deck before drawing with the leader skill. Which is very nice. If the 3 cards are bad, you just bottom deck them. If they are not, you take whatever you need. I think I like it. Not sure if you're gonna play it, but it's a cool option to have.
Alright. So, we trade Croco for another
Usopp.
Another Usopp.
King, according to the rules, this card is also named or treated as Usopp. On play, draw 2 cards, place 2 cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck in any order, then return up to 1 character with a cost of 1 or less back to the owner's hand. Not too great, but it's a blue card.
It's a blue card. It does what blue cards do. It bottom decks 1 or less, or bounces something, draws 2, bottom decks 2. Let's see. Yeah, it could also work in Boa, for example, but it's not searchable for the 7 Warlords engine. So probably not as good as the max cards, though. This is Don Quixote Rocinante. So that's a rather interesting card. It's also very niche, I think, because it says you may rest one of your Don cards and this character. If your leader is Don Quixote Rocinante, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and play up to one character with 2 or less rested. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in an order. So basically, this card lets you cheat out another 2 cost or less from your deck. You can mix up whatever you want to search and want to draw, to play, for example. You could say, yeah, you find a 2 or less blocker or searcher, and then you play a sugar, for example, like you played in Rosinante, rested, and then you can protect the rested character with the Rosinante leader ability. So it's a very niche support, especially for the Rosinante leader. I think Rosinante fans will be happy because it's quite a nice support for those who play a lot of those 2 or less characters. Well,
Nothing too interesting here. If you're playing green, blue, Rosinante, for whatever reason, this is a good support for you. But I think this isn't gonna make or break the deck.
okay. So let's see, for whatever reason you want to play Vivi then.
Vivi is a 3-cost 2k power 1k counter. On play, if your leader is multicolored and you have 5 or less cards in your hand, draw 2 cards. So it's a significantly worse peel-off, but still quite interesting for those multicolor blue decks that need some more cards in their hand. Also another brick, which is nice. Yeah, might see some play.
Okay, yeah, I think so too. It's actually quite a nice idea to have a peel-off that is a counter and you can play it out as a body. So we go into the Whitebeard cards. There is Vista. On play, you bottom deck opponent's 1000 power or less. Okay, doesn't seem super great at first. What comes to mind here for me is Marco. Like, if you have a combination of reducing power and playing then out Vista to bottom deck something, it could be strong, as bottom decking is probably still the strongest way of removal with all that KO protection and KO abilities. So if you have a good ability like a character that sets character minus few thousand power or whatever, and then you can play Vista and you bottom deck something bigger, and it can be pretty worth it. So yeah, I see it in Marco, and I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Okay. Then have fun reading 8.
So we have another Whitebeard Pirate, the 5 down 5k 1k counter. On play, if your leader type includes Whitebeard Pirates, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 cost 2 character and put it into your hand, then place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order and play up to 1 cost 2 character from your hand as rested. I don't know, it seems pretty niche to me, maybe I'm missing something, but yeah, it's another Whitebeard card and see if people maybe use it in Marco too.
Marco is playing a few low-cost characters with like this Duval blocker, for example. You could play it at Ace to get out the blocker and cheat the blocker out, but it's
exactly cost and it's rested as well, no?
Yes, yeah, it's rested. It's exactly 2 cost. Oh, okay, crazy. Yeah, no, that's really niche. Okay. Now we have Grandpa Rio. So that's a vanilla.
It's another Animer, 3 down 5k vanilla stats, 1k counter. Maybe there's some kind of red-blue Animer deck. I think some people already played the Chopper in Marco, so
yeah,
I think this one is quite good. It can get different colors than red, right?
Yeah, but it can't. But the Chopper can only cheat out of 4,000 power or less.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So it can't even cheat out Rio. But he's East Blue, so maybe it's like vanilla for Russia for Vivi, or it's just a random vanilla Villa.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably. Okay. So then we have
another great card. So this is a counter event, 2 down. Counter this turn when one of your characters would be KO'd in battle, you may instead discard 1 card from your hand. I think this is just worse than most of the other 2 down events we already have. There's so many plus 4k events for 2 down.
Yeah.
And this is just another one of those, but even worse in my opinion. trigger draw one card, not saving this either. I don't think this is gonna see play.
No, I don't think so. Like, you literally have to give up this 2 down plus the trash another hand to protect the body, while you could just play in one of the Boa counter cards that says 2 down plus 4000 bouncer character or something. It's way more value than this, so I don't see this having play at all. But we have seen a few of those event cards already that are just there to fill the packs. And besides event cards, there is the same version in blue. Top 4, it's for higher trigger main effect. This time we have it with Sanji in the background. Yeah, same sketch here with the print alignment symbol and everything. Like they just didn't want to draw it.
Yeah, they didn't want to finish the card. They ran out of time, so they just released what they had on hand already.
Okay, let's go right into purple, I think. Here we have Iceberg.
So this card is pretty similar to the Carrot I think we saw before. It's a 1 Dawn 2k counter.
Exactly the same.
There are 3 or more Dawn cards on your field. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Galilea Company and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Play up to 1 of the stage from your hand. So I think if you really depend on the ramp, this one might be viable. It's a good 2k. Also, it's being able to help you find the stage.
Yeah, for example, for now it's just for the Iceberg leader. It's the only Galilei Water 7 Carrot leader I think that can play this. And yeah, same with Carrot. You do play the stage in Iceberg, I think. It is another 2k. Yeah. But
it's Iceberg.
Yeah. I think the requirement, wouldn't it have the requirement with the 3 or more, it would be actually a good card. Because then you could, on turn 1, you can play it and cheat out the stage for 1 Dawn.
It would probably be too good at this point.
That would be a strong card, but yeah. Might actually see some play in the Iceberg Believers, but I rather hope for Wild Water 7 Frankie. Well, there we have Klabautermann. If you ever going married, this in play this character against blocker. 1 cost, 1k counter, 0 power. Yeah, that's it. Oh my.
4 Dawn, 6k. Typical vanilla 1k counter, Navy and Foxy Pirate. Maybe you played in Foxy, I don't know. I don't think so.
Bye bye Komai. Now we have actually good card.
Very good card.
Yeah. Sanji and Pudding. So, what we have here. It says your turn once per turn. When 2 or more of your Dawn are returned to your Dawn deck, set up 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck as active. So basically, you -2 do 2 Dawns and get 1 back as active, like you wanna do in the new leader. That's why this is a staple in the new green-purple Luffy. It was well worked, like for example with the OP9 rush cards with 9 cost Luffy with Sanji, because they can also return 2 or 1 or more Dawns. And on play, if your number of Dawn cards are equal to or less than your opponent's, you draw a card. So basically, if you're on low Dawn, you play it, draw a card, and then on the next, then do the leader ability, and -2 get 1 Dawn. So basically, this is a key card in the new deck to spam the board, because then you can get actually 3 Dawn active, and then you can spam another body out.
Also, of course, very, very good if you have more than 1. If you have 2 of these in play, you can get rid of 2 Dawn, immediately get them back. It makes your leader ability free. That's kind of the goal of the deck, I think.
Yeah.
5 Dawn, 7k, also insane. Very good card.
So either if you're playing this deck or playing against it, that's the key card that has to be protected or removed. So, then we have another purple Straw Hat support with Nico Robin here.
The 3 Dawn, 2k power, 1k counter, blocker, on KO, Dawn -1. Look at the top 3 of your deck, reveal up to 1 Straw Hat type card, add it to your hand, put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Nothing too interesting here, it's just a 3 Dawn blocker that replaces itself for -1 Dawn, so not a bad card. Not sure if we needed it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not really a bad card. It's also not a really broken card, so you might fit it in some decks, but you probably can do it without them. Yeah, but also a nice option to have. And another purple Straw card. So we got Frankie here. And he has on play and when attacking the same effect. If your leader has a Straw type card and the number of your Dawn on the board are equal or less than your opponent, set up one Dawn card from your Dawn as rested. I've seen this card in some lists in the Asian meta. I think it's a quite good card, so especially in this leader as you are running on low Dawn. So it doesn't make you see much like in Purple Luffy. It doesn't see much playing in Purple Luffy, for example. But in the new Purple Green deck, it can be super strong if you are like on low Dawn and then you play the Sanji and then you get Dawn back and you can play Frankie and ramp another rested Dawn so you have enough Dawn for the next turn. Can also help you basically to keep your Dawn decks on the place you wanted for the next turn. Pretty solid card.
Very nice that it's got the on play as well and not just the when attacking, so you should be able to get value out of it twice before they actually kill it. I don't think this will be removed from the board before attacking a lot, so usually it will get 2 dawns, maybe even more if your opponent can't really attack it.
Yeah, if that card sticks, it's also super annoying, yeah? Okay, then we have Magellan.
The 3 down 4k, 1k counter. On play, play a cost 2 or lower Impel Down type character card from your hand. That's it already.
Yeah, so it's basically board spam for Impel Down now. I know Impel Down has a lot of low cost cards, and it's kind of the play of the Impel Down engine to spam low cost characters, but so far that hasn't been very sufficient enough to make it a strong deck. But let's keep that Impel Down support coming. I really want to play Magellan or something like that in the future. Then we have Gamma 66. So this event, when it first came out in the leagues, I was super confused. But basically it says you may discard a character with 4000 or less power and Gamma from your hand if the number of your Dawn cards on your board is equal or less than your opponent's. Play a character from a trash that has 5 to 7000 power and the same name as the discarded card. So basically, like you would play a 4-cost EGG to cheat out a 7-cost EGG in Rejo, you can use the event with it. So I first thought it's like, hey, you can just throw some other Gamma card you don't need, like Sora, like the blocker or whatever. But no, it has to be the same name. So you can use 4 Dawn to throw a 2-cost Baby Rager to cheat out a 5-cost Rager. So I don't get it at all, this card.
Maybe there is some like Reiju 2k counter or some EGG counter card you could play that hasn't seen play before and now you can play to discard it, but I don't think see it.
I don't remember. Maybe it's for play this upcoming support, but I don't really. I'm missing the. Maybe you know what's the usage of this card, if there's anything at all, but I'm missing it completely here.
So if you're putting this one in the Reiju build as they are right now, I think this is just a straight up mana.
Yeah, basic brick there. Yeah, okay. Then we have Brand New World.
Same thing as we saw before, this time for purple. It's just look at the top 4, add 1 4 or more, put the rest at the bottom, trigger, activate main. Same sketchy, ugly art.
Yeah. So let's get right into the last purple card. The Going Merry. The Going Merry is on play if your leader is destroyed, you can draw a card, and then you may rest the stage if you have equal or less Dawn as your opponent. Give up to one of your straw heads +2 until the end of your opponent's next turn. So this has been used quite a lot in Green Purple Luffy in Asia, since first of all, not just for the draw effect, but just giving your Sanji, putting for example +2, so it's a 7 cost and it makes it harder to remove. It really will depend on how important it is to protect cards with the cost in the current upcoming meta. Since Dofi got a little bit nerfed, Black got a little bit nerfed, and Blackbeard, for example, can KO characters with an original cost now. So I think people have to figure out themselves if it's worth it to play it in our meta or not. But overall, yeah.
I think the 1 Dawn redraw is usually never too bad. It's a brick, but you can get it out of your hand pretty easily. I don't know how the curve works out exactly for this deck, but I think with the Sanjian Pudding, maybe you get the one extra Don anyways, and you would only use it to attack, so you get this in for free. Yeah, we're gonna have to see if it actually ends up being played, but I think for now I would say I like the card.
Yeah, I think it's a viable option here. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting how many people are gonna play it, and if it's gonna be like a 2 of, a 3 of, or like really 4 cards of them. Yeah, that's it for purple. And we are now going into black, and for the navy support. So first of all, we have
All Hunt Ground. 6 Don, 8k, 1k counter, vanilla, navy card. Yeah, probably
Okay.
just another filler.
Okay, let's go from filler to filler. Right here is Jonathan. Jonathan is a 6 cost 9k.
7.
A 7 cost 9k power with 1000 power. Navy, vanilla, so nice support for Navy. Thanks for that, I guess. So let's move on to actual nice Navy support. I think this is actually the best black card that came out of an EB02.
This is a fun one. I think most people already heard about this or thought about how to make use of it. It's a 7 Don, 7k, 1k counter, so it's not a brick. People have been calling this, I don't know, new gecko, budget gecko, whatever. It's not the same, but it's on play. Play up to 1 black navy type character card with a cost of 4 or less from your trash.
Yeah.
So it's a blocker, it cheats out some nice cards. You could technically get like Kuzan, Borsalino, Kobe, brand new. So there is some nice cards you can get out with it.
Yeah.
It's a 7 Don 7k blocker, which is not bad, especially with the 1k counter. I think right now the navies are probably not good enough to make this work on their own, but with some future support, this could definitely be a nice card.
Yeah, I've been looking into this card already. Well, as I'm playing Lucci at the moment, so, and also always love to play black decks. I was really looking into how I can make Sengoku good at the moment. Yeah, you can play it into Kuzan, but it's just a value game. I was thinking about the one combination where I could just play this Zombie Luffy, this 5 cost Nightmare Luffy, and then play Sengoku into Hina, for example, and make the minus on the board and then swing with the Luffy, so you need some setup. But there are possibilities there, and I think this can be a good card in the future.
Maybe you could make this work in Gecko too, because 7 cost is nice, as you can still get off the leader skill afterwards.
Yes.
You could recycle the Hina, the brand new is nice, filling up your graveyard.
Yeah.
So I think maybe there's something there. If it's gonna be too good, I don't know, but it's a nice card.
Yeah. Okay. So then we have new law. So Trafficker Law, it's a Dressrosa, Supernova and Hard Pirates. It's a 5 cost 6k 1k counter blocker. On play, you bottom deck basically 2 cards from your trash, and then you have to choose. Can you choose between 2 abilities? The first is just you draw a card, which is pretty nice. Cheater to play blocker, 1 for 1 get a card back. And the other one, if your opponent has 4 more cards, they discard 1 card from the hand. They can decide. Basically, it's a blocker with 2 options: either you draw a card or you discard a card. I mean, yeah, it's following the common 5 cost 6k 1k blocker that we get in many sets at the moment. Like we got Aurelia, for example. They all have like kind of similar abilities. Maybe no, it's Dressrosa, so you can play it in Usopp.
Might be able to, but I think in Usopp the draw isn't too great. Sure, it's never bad, but having the option is nice in Usopp. If you don't need the card because you're gonna be locking yourself out of the leader, you can just make them discard a card.
Yeah.
I think it's not a bad card.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see where it ends up and how many there are.
I was also thinking like usually you're playing the 5 cost Zabu blocker in black decks to protect yourself from KO, but KO protection isn't as necessary as it was a few sets ago, because many decks right now are just resting or bottom decking or bouncing. So like doing like a Rebecca into Law and just to add 1 card into hand instead of the cycle is also a viable option, but we'll see if people cook something with it out. Then we have actual filler bug support, as you mentioned, Gecko.
So it's a 3 down 3k 2k counter. On play, trash 2 cards from the top of your deck, then give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost during this turn. It's a 2k counter, which is never bad. It gives... How much is it? -2?
It's minus. It says -1 only, I think. Yeah, it's -1.
It's -1, so...
It's actually not 2. So it's like a bit of a worse. Like Khalifa, for example, is also 2k. But you can cycle 2 cards and give -2. So
Yeah, this just seems... I think -1 isn't doing anything.
it's the idea is probably to fill up the trash for your Gecko, but for your lead ability.
You don't want to play it for free? Losing a 2k, you definitely don't want to use your leader skill on it?
And then you have just like -1.
I don't know, maybe you still play it because it's a 2k and at some point it could come up that you need the -1 to kill something, or that you just want to hit something in your graveyard on 6 turn, maybe if you really bricked.
I think it was probably because just that Thriller Bark needed more 2Ks because they had Perona and Sindri, but they mixed it up with Navy all the time because of the Navy engine, so there wasn't very much, I think, good 2Ks, and just adding this 2K here makes sense, I guess. Making it not very strong though. Like, I mean, Tsuru is strong and she costs 1, so...
Yeah.
So, okay. Then we have Blue Enum. So Blue Enum is a TP support that says activate main, you may discard 1 card from your hand and place this character in your trash. And then you play a 5 or less TP character from your trash. But is it rested? No, it's at least no. But it's like, I think it's like a really bad Kuzan.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a horrible version of Kuzan. It has a 1k counter and it has one more k in power.
But then instead
it can die, it goes -1 instead of drawing 1, and it's...
Yeah, it's I mean, yeah, it's like just for Blue Enum for the ability to cheat something out with air draws, but like discard 1, I was like, I wouldn't even play it with when it says don't discard 1, because it's like, yeah, okay, you can swing, but minusing 1 as well is actually horrible. Then we have something really fun in Brook, the new one.
The 5 6k 1k counter. On play, you may add up to 1 Laboon from your trash to your hand. On KO, you may play up to 1 4 cost or lower Laboon from your hand. So yeah, it's all Laboon on this one. It's 5 6k 1k counter. Might actually see some play if you're running Laboon anyways, but I don't think so.
I think maybe there's an idea that this card will be good in upcoming sets. We're still waiting for Brook leader, and many people think that Brook is going to be a black leader because we have so many black Brook cards, and we're getting another one, and all the Laboon cards are more black as well. So maybe this will work out in the new Brook leader or something. We'll see what they're cooking for us so far. Really weird actually, but yeah, I get the combination. I get obviously the thing with Laboon because that was the.
We still need more stuff to fill up the graveyard if this card is gonna be relevant. We're never gonna use Laboon, have it die, and then replay it with this.
So then it's Garb, which is actually Garb leader support, I think. It says, give your leader up to 2 rested on. Activate main, yeah, you may rest this character if your leader is Monkey the Garb. KO up to 1 of your cost 1 or lower characters. And as you might remember, the Garb leader says for each Dawn attached to him, he gives -1 to a character that is already 7 or lower. So basically you can just play Garb, attach 2 Dawn to your leader, and therefore it is a -2 and KO 1 cost in 1 turn. Yeah, it's a good support for Garb. Garb is still not a good removal deck. It's a nice thing, but the combination of black and red removal just doesn't work out because you're mixing power with cost.
It would be so cool, but I don't see it. Like 5 Dawn, you get to kill at 3 cost.
So, event.
Another one of these, the black version this time. I'm not even gonna go over the effect anymore. I'm just gonna keep mentioning that the art is ugly in my opinion.
Okay.
Next.
Fine. Then you have 4 more Rumble Pirates. Once again, the Brook card in black. So it says choose one of the following. It's a free don, free cost card. KO up to one of your opponent characters with 2 or lower, or give up to one of your opponent characters -4. Yikes. I mean, the thing is, if this card would have been 2 cost, I would immediately play it. Because I know, like, we've got Ice Age banned, and it was wait for paper time, like, not really actual anymore with 1 cost -5. Having the ability here to switch between, yeah, you either KO 2 cost or -4. -4 is nice, but for free Dawn, -4 I can play Hina.
Yeah.
And have a body. And for free Dawn, I don't want to KO a 2 cost.
Oh, I don't think so.
So if it was a cheaper version, maybe, but here, and also it's still former Rumba Pirates, so it's also non-searchable for anything at the moment.
No trigger either. So it's just a brick.
So we'll see. Maybe we get a broke leader that says you can use a event for -2 Dawn or something. But until now, I think maybe like it's like not really. Whatever. Okay, let's get into the last color. This is gonna be yellow. And here we start with, I think we start with, yes, the 10-drop Enel, the new Enel support.
I'm not sure what's gonna be following, but this is probably the best yellow card already. If your leader has the Sky Island type, this character gains Rush. When attacking, you may trash 1 card from your hand. If your life has 1 or less cards, place up to 1 card from the top of your deck into your life, then give this character +1k. I think the +1k is very useful.
That's the best part of the game.
Cost 12k, very necessary. Oh, but all jokes aside, of course, the rush is nice,
Yeah.
the heal is crazy.
Yeah, you can use the heal every turn.
Yeah.
It's like when attacking, that's really cool.
It's just a way better ace.
So that's what Enel players have been playing then and looking forward to. Sadly, you got ripped off Rygo, so Enel not being best performer at the moment, but still, it just says Sky Island, not Enel per se, so you could actually play it in Kalgara. And you could play them probably if there's more upcoming Sky Island support, we will see. So this might be a good card into the future, because yeah, it's not only locked to Enel.
Also, Kagara didn't really have any good high end yet, right? They just stopped
Yeah.
at their Mont Blanc or what?
6 cost 8k, Gagara is the highest card.
Yeah. Maybe they actually make use of it too.
Alright. Then we see Olga. This is Olga? Olga. You want to make Olga?
The 3-down 4k, 1k counter, on play, on KO, look at the top of your opponent's life, move it to the top or bottom life cards. The Katakuri ability, on play and on KO. Doesn't seem good to me, no trigger either, so bad yellow card.
Not searchable, very bad yellow card. No, I don't think we're gonna play this one. This is actually quite fine now. Following as well a 5 cost 6k blocker thing. 1k counter here, Sanji. Sanji is a blocker that says on play, if you have 2 or less life, that's the requirement though, draw 2 cards and then trash 1 card from your hand. So basically like Rayleigh, the red one, the 5 cost blocker, but instead of the requirement with the cost, you have the requirement to be a 2 or less life healer. That works quite well in some yellow decks, especially in Enel for example, or also in Kagara as it takes life. Probably also in like mono or in a dual color, because you're easier on 2 life. Yeah, so if you play a deck that can easily come to 2 life and stay there pretty healthy, Sanji is probably a good option for a basic blocker. But the thing is with blockers like these, you usually either use them on curve to cycle your hands for the next turn, or you just use them in the end game to protect yourself and cycle your hand, so it's probably in this situation.
A cool card.
Then you have Jimbe.
4-down, 5k, 2k counter vanilla. If your leader has the Merfolk or Fishman type card and you have 2 or less life cards, you may play this card. It's just another yellow trigger that can be played. Maybe you use this in Arlong.
Yeah, it's for Alba. It's also probably for upcoming Shirahoshi, I think. Then we'll get them set later or something. But yeah, and that's the 2K. That's cool. Then we have a pretty nice card here for Vegapunk fans. So now especially Vegapunk. So the trigger is basic draw one card. It is a blocker, and on play you look at the top 5 cards of your deck and play a 1/5 cost or lower scientist character, other than Vegapunk of course, and then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. And if your opponent has 2 characters or less, you have to discard a card. So that's the probably the downside is this card works better if your opponent has at least 3 characters. But then if you're in this situation, you can basically play the Vegapunk blocker to cheat out one of your other Vegapunk cards, like the blocker, like the Atlas or whatever. And so you can basically just do the same you do in the deck, but with adding a blocker onto it. So pretty good actually. It depends on the playstyle, I think, because I've seen Vegapunk playing pretty aggro and spamming the board, so you won't have room for much blockers. Also, you don't want to discard a card, so I would see this card very early.
I think if you're one of the guys that is playing the Vegapunk deck and trying to like really extend the game with the argument that you're basically the best timeout deck, this is a very neat addition for your deck, because you can not only find your blockers more consistently, but you also get another one, which is nice. So maybe this pushes Vegapunk over the edge. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and having just a draw one card trigger is good, as you can still add him into your life if you don't need him to just draw a card. So, Mad Treasure.
Next up is Mad Treasure. Board on 5k, power, 1k counter. When attacking, you may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand. Add up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost 3 or less to the top or bottom of your opponent's life.
Sucks.
It sucks. Nothing crazy here, so you can just get on with the next one.
That really sucks in my opinion. Just take a life and get...
No trigger either. What's happening to yellow?
Really? But here, this one has a trigger.
Yeah, we've seen these before. It's the same as before. To the unsearched event in yellow.
Still argue.
Yes.
That's us. And from us we go to Without You I Can't Become King of the Parents. This is also super niche, bro. It's a 4-cost counter event that says give up to 1 of your characters, leader or characters at least, 1000 power for this battle. Then, if your total life is 1 or less, play up to 1 yellow 5-cost or lower Straw Hat type or Sanji from your hand. So you can... The thing is, I saw the idea. Okay, you have a 4-Don card in your hand, and you can cheat out a 5-cost. So like, you want 4-Don, you don't play anything, opponent attacks, and you cheat out the 5-cost in this, and you swing, color leader swing. But the requirement of the life total has to be 1 or less. It's like, it's so niche.
Yeah, maybe they were trying to have us get to 10 Don, only swing for 5 with leader, use Raigo and keep this up. But now they banned Raigo, so I don't really see it happening.
So like now you like own 1 life and you need this card and the fitting card in hand, and 4 Don open in late game.
Maybe you can bluff with this card, leaving up 4 Don and your opponent won't attack you.
Okay. So, and then we have the last yellow card, but actually not the last in the set. This is Going Merry.
2 Don stage, activate main, you may rest this stage and turn the top card of your life face up. Give up to 1 of your Straw Hat type characters plus 1000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So, yeah, I don't know. 2 Don stage seems clunky again to me. It gives +1 to your Straw Hats. I don't know.
Put on stage to save 1 Don to attach for swing. No trigger, brick. I don't see
At
it.
least it keeps the buff until the end of your opponent's turn, so
Yeah.
Makes it a bit harder to attack your board every turn, but
Yeah.
I don't see.
So, and this is the last yellow card, but actually not the last set, because the last set number is again a purple card, and that is the secret rare Monkey D. Luffy. So, maybe you have seen it already, obviously one of the cornerstones here in the purple, green-purple Luffy that's coming out. It says, and now I have to look at it, if your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn on the field, he gains Rush, so basically as soon as you pretty much play him, and only in multicolored decks, so sorry purple Luffy fans, he gains Rush. When attacking, you can return 2 of your active Dawn cards to your Dawn deck, then you can set this character active. Then, at the top of your life, the top or bottom, no, just top card of your life to your hand. So basically, this card has a lot of requirements and some downside as well, but in some decks, like in the green-purple, it's still super strong.
Yeah.
Like, you have the rush, so you can just use it as a rusher, you don't need to use the ability, obviously. And having the ability that when you attack, you have the 2 active Dawn, which you get in from the leader in this set, for example, just to restand and swing again, is super strong. You probably use it only either if you want to go for game, or if you're healthy enough so you can allow yourself to take a life, which is really a big downside though.
Yeah, the taking a life is a very big downside, otherwise this would just be an easy out to kit. You could just keep running into kit twice each turn. Like this, it's a bit tougher, but I still think, I'm pretty sure this card is, of course, it's still gonna be very good. This is still gonna be a problem for the green kit players, even though you need to take the life. And closing out games with this is gonna be pretty easy. So, very, very good last card. Alright guys, that's it for the EB02 first impressions of the set. I'm sure some of these are gonna age very badly, and the cards we got said they aren't gonna be played at all are gonna be very good.
Yeah, probably.
But I hope we got it right for the most part.
And yeah, I hope we could give you some good insights to the new upcoming set, so you know better what's coming, what you're looking for, maybe help you decide if you actually want to buy the set. If you want, or if you see any staples you want to get for the future. And yeah, that's it from us for today. We will definitely stream the green-purple Luffy the next week. We're gonna try it in our new testing table stream on Twitch, so be sure to check it out there as well. And yeah, that's it from us today.
Yeah, see you soon on
See you
Twitch.
soon, bye.